Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back or welcome to the Love Your Vibe podcast. And this is episode 3 titled Vibing with Weight Loss. So, just to give you an idea of my experience with weight loss and achieved weight loss and what I've found is the key. I have been a fitness professional for the last 17 years. And I've seen every side of the spectrum, you can say, when it comes down to health and fitness and ultimately weight loss. So the title, once again, states Vibing with Weight Loss. And what that means is that there's a vibration that you have to get to in order to achieve the weight loss that you want, that you desire. And there are certain things that can stop you, that can hinder you from reaching that goal. Okay. And so one of the things, what I wanted to touch on today that people are sometimes unaware of, and one of the most important things is stress. Okay. Stress can be a huge hindrance to you losing weight, to you getting to the point of where you feel like you need to be. Stress disallows you to reach the vibration needed to achieve your goal weight. Okay, and the reason why, and we're going to get a little bit metaphysical here, the reason why stress is a hindrance, because when we are stressed out, when we're feeling like things aren't the way that they should be or things need to change, and we're not in the realm of accepting and allowing, what happens is we create an emotional buffer. We'll share a story with you here that happened not too long ago. I was at a job that I gave my heart and soul to for about 3 years. I battled every day. I woke up at 3:30 just to make sure that I was there on time, never missed a day, gave it my all. It exhausted me at times. And at the end of it, it was basically a job that became more slave work than anything else because there was nothing really coming out of it other than the relationships and the joy of watching my clients fulfill their aspirations and goals. So what took place probably I would say at the 1.5 year mark is I started to gain weight. I started to put on weight like I had never had before, and I think I was at one point 229 pounds, which is completely overweight for me, but I denied it. And, I just didn't feel like it was a big problem, but it actually was a big problem because I'm normally around the 200-pound mark, and I had picked up a massive amount of weight, not knowing what had happened. I mean, I would eat different things here or there, if I wanted to treat myself, because I've never been one to feel like having one donut or having one this or that could just drastically change your weight. We'll get into that later. But anyway, just nothing really changed within my diet to add this type of weight loss. And so I started to meditate. I started to ask my higher power, what is happening? What is different here? And what I received is you're creating an emotional buffer. And so what that means is because the environment around me was so toxic and it was basically turning me bad from the inside out, literally and figuratively, I had to create this outside shield of fat, weight, whatever you want to call it, that would protect me somewhat from all the stuff that was happening. Okay? And so my point is, this is what happened when I was at a high level of experiencing a high level of stress. My cortisol hormone, which is the stress hormone, for those of you that don't know, were completely out of control. And so the result was a massive weight gain. And so I didn't know this at the time, but after, prayer and meditation, I got to the point of realizing that, okay, I'm experiencing an emotional buffer. What needs to change? All right. And so from there, I went within again, and I had to change the fact that I was resenting the space that I was in. I was resenting the people that I was in. All this stuff was causing stress, and it was even causing back pain, which is a topic for another podcast, how your emotions can cause the pain in your body. But when I finally realized that that was the cause of me being the way I was and feeling the way I was, I began to step onto the road of changing it. And by no means was it easy in any capacity, but I knew if I was going to lose this weight, I had to do it. So I did my best to try and implement, the reverse effect of everything that was taking place. Now, I lost a couple pounds here and there, but the truth of the matter is, it was hard for me to get to that place where I could be at peace again and not be stressed out and still be in that place. So ultimately, you probably guessed it, I wound up leaving. I knew in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul that there was the best situation for me to move forward with. And what's crazy enough is I wound up losing 6 or 7 pounds literally 2 days after I quit. So this tells me one thing, that once the stress of not having to be in the place anymore was not there, all of a sudden that emotional buffer disappeared. And that was only part of the weight loss. Now, when I left this place of employment, my first step was to get back to to get to a place spiritually where I could be at peace through all circumstances. So I began to meditate profusely. I began to pray. I began to open my heart to whatever God or the universe, whichever you use, wanted to show me. I became open to that, and that created more weight loss. And so the truth of the matter through all this, the point I'm getting at is when I decided to come to a place of complete self-acceptance and complete self-love, all of that weight started to fall off, and it had absolutely nothing to do with my fitness. It had nothing to do with my nutrition. Ultimately, it was the case of me being able to accept myself again in the space that I was. And this is just to touch on this a little bit. It's hard. It's really extremely hard to find yourself completely when you're at a job, you're at a place of employment, or just at any place in your life where you don't feel completely happy, where you don't feel completely at peace. The fact of the matter is that you'll always find ways to deal with it, and finding ways to combat something that's going on in your life, that is the first form of addiction. Whether it's food, whether it's drinking, whatever it is, you want to get away from that, because all that does is create stress, and then it allows that buffer to come back, okay? So we don't want to have to create a buffer by any means. What we want to do is do our best, if we can, get out of the situation, remove ourselves completely from the situation. One, because life is too short, and two, our health is just so important for us to take care of and to do whatever we need to in order to continue to prosper at a high level. So if possible, remove yourself from the situation. If you can't remove yourself from the situation or place at the time, what you want to do is make sure that you can come to a place of peace and acceptance until you can get out. But I promise you, if you're experiencing a lot of stress, you need to find a way to get out of where you are and change it up fast, because all it's going to do is going to kill you. It's going to make you gain weight. It's going to make you be unhappy. It's going to create all these things. So if you're experiencing this while I'm talking, find an exit strategy. There is absolutely no other option than that you need to find a way to implement. Okay? So once you do that, then you'll start to be in a place where self-acceptance comes in. Because it's hard for us to accept ourselves if we're faced with a situation where we feel helpless. And the truth of the matter is, feeling helpless is only a state of mind. All you have to do is switch your perspective and move into a place of gratitude. Find the good things about what you're experiencing. Okay? Find out what has been a blessing, and you focus on that with such extreme intent to where it magnifies, to where it can put you into a place of feeling at peace, of feeling a high vibration, of feeling thankful, because it's here where the weight will come off. Now, this is so important, guys, if you're unable to get out of the place that you're in, because this is going to contribute to massive amounts of weight loss. Okay. So to get to where I'm trying to get you on this podcast, we're moving in from there. Once we get to that place of acceptance, once we get to that place of self-love, unconditional self-love is what matters. What happens is people start to not like themselves when they become unhappy. People start to find fault with themselves when things aren't going perfectly the way that they should. Honestly, life is all about challenges. Things will never be perfect. You have to find the perfection within the challenge and make it work for you. And this is what this is. This is what this comes down to. So, weight loss, to vibe with weight loss, get to a place of complete self-love. You know, if you're 12, 15, 20, however many pounds overweight, love yourself right now. Understand that, you know what? I have gained a few pounds in the past, but I'm going to love myself to the point of knowing that there is complete acceptance, that I don't have to be different for anybody. All I have to do is take joy in who I am. And I guarantee you, when you do that, the weight will start to fall off. The problem is people start it, but they don't never follow through. They never follow through because they forget to practice. And if you don't practice things that'll help you to get to that place of self-love and self-acceptance, to be a catalyst for the weight loss, if you don't practice, you fall back into old habits. You fall back into a point of being in a place to where you'll just go back, or you'll stay the same weight, or you'll actually begin to gain more. You can't, the thing is law of attraction lesson here. Whatever we focus on, whatever we're creating right now will be our existence in the future. It will be our present to come. So we got to understand, I love myself. That's all it takes. Look in the mirror. I love myself no matter what. I may have bags under my eyes. I may have this. I may have that. This is just an example. I love myself completely. I love myself unconditionally. Find the divine nature within yourself when you look in the mirror, because if you look long enough, you will see it, and embrace it with complete love. Don't pay attention to anything you feel like is not right, or I like to say mainstream, because mainstream confuses us on what beauty should be. So never compare yourself at any point in time, no matter what. Focus on you, focus on the God within you, the nature that is so beautiful, so infinite, so divine, so wonderful, and just smile and tell yourself how much you love you. Do this anytime you get the chance to be in the mirror. Let yourself know that you love yourself completely and you accept yourself. That's the thing. When your subconscious mind knows that you accept yourself, whether you're 100 pounds or 300 pounds, that's when the magic begins to happen. Guys, it's not, sure, fitness plays a big part. Nutrition plays a big part. But if your beliefs are not right, it will trip you up and you will never lose weight. You have to get to a place, once again, of complete self-love, unconditional self-love, complete self-acceptance. And you have to know, the last thing I'm going to share with you, you have to be in a place to where you know that weight loss is going to occur. You have, without a shadow of a doubt, all the faith, all the belief, all the conviction that you will reach your goal. And when you feel that and you give thanks for it, that's when you'll begin to see the weight come off. And that is what it comes down to as far as vibing with weight loss. Okay? It's just a matter of getting into that vibration, staying there, practicing the concepts that I told you, just making sure you're at peace, with yourself, guys. And I can't say this enough. This is what Love Your Vibe is all about. Love yourself, and love yourself even more. Because with love, anything is possible. Anything can be accomplished. I'm running out of time. Guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Tune in tomorrow for the next episode. Take care.